What's up, everyone? I'm back at y'all with another video. Now for this video of my Scott Adkins movie collection. Now, he's literally in my top 5 favorite action stars and martial artists of all time. Because Scott Adkins is grown to become one of my favorite martial artists ever. One of them. Because, he's grown to become one of the biggest action stars working today. He's became that big. So, yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Scott Adkins. So, yeah, now let's begin. First up, we have Ip Man 4 with Donnie Yen and, of course, Scott Adkins. Now, I love the Ip Man franchise, and Donnie Yen is also a very good martial artist. Now, in this movie, Scott Adkins pretty much plays a villain. Scott Adkins pretty much plays a villain in this movie, and he was a very good villain. So, yeah, very enjoyable film. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Next up, we have Abduction, which is this movie has a mixture of action and horror, because there's some horror vibes throughout this film. I love this movie a lot. This movie has some great fight scenes. There's some creepy scenes here and there as well. So, yeah, Abduction. Pretty good movie. Next up, we have Triple Threat, which has Scott Adkins, of course, and Tony Jaa and Michael Jai White. And a few more other incredible martial artists. Now, this movie has some awesome fight scenes. Scott Adkins is fucking badass in this movie, and of course, so is Tony Jaa and Michael Jai White. And this movie has a lot of action. It's action packed. This movie has action from start to finish. This movie's kind of low budget, but it's freaking amazing for a low budgeted action film. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Very enjoyable. Next up, we have The Expendables 2. Now, this movie, I'm a huge fan of all these action stars in this movie. You have Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, Sylvester Stallone is, of course, in all the Expendables movies. But Scott Adkins plays one of the villains. He plays Jean-Claude Van Damme's right-hand man. So basically, he's the second main villain in The Expendables 2, Scott Adkins is. So he played a very good villain. You get to see him fight Jason Statham in this movie, which is pretty damn badass. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Next up, we have Accident Man. Now, this movie I love. You also have Michael Jai White in this movie as well. And I enjoyed this movie a lot. Now, this lets you know I don't have the Undisputed 2, 3, and 4, but I'm planning on buying those soon. But I don't have those. I wish I did, because I'm a huge fan of those movies. But yeah, Accident Man is a fantastic balls to the wall fucking whooping ass throughout this freaking movie. And this movie is freaking so good. I'm pretty sure it went straight to DVD, but you can't even tell it in this movie. You really can't tell it went straight to DVD. It had that theater movie quality throughout this movie. So yeah, Accident Man, very enjoyable film. Next up is Seized. Now, this is another great, fantastic Scott Adkins movie. Seized is so much fun. Yeah, so much fun. It has a simple story, but it's so much fun. And the fight scenes that we come to love about Scott Adkins movies are in this movie. So yeah, this movie is badass. Love it. Love this movie. Seized. Next up, we have Max Cloud. This is different from what do we love about Scott Adkins. Before we come to love about Scott Adkins movie, this movie is different, which I can appreciate that, because if you become a big action star, you've got to try to make yourself even bigger by doing something a little different that still has a lot of action in it. So that's what this movie is, and it's different. It's one of Scott Adkins' most different movies he's done, but it's very good. This movie is an action comedy, and it has a decent story. Very enjoyable film. Very enjoyable film. Love this movie. Next up, we have Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning. Now, Scott Adkins plays the main character in this movie. Because in the first 3 movies of Universal Soldier, Van Damme was the good guy, pretty much. And this time around, Van Damme is the villain, the main villain. And you also have, of course, Dolph Lundgren back, and then he's another villain in this movie. So you get to see Scott Adkins face off against Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. So yeah, and this movie has tons of action. This movie went dark. Like, there's some dark scenes in this movie. They went a little bit too far at some of the shit that happens in this movie. So yeah, it's very good. Hopefully we get a fifth movie one day. Fifth movie. Because I would love to see it. See what they go from here. So yeah. Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning. Next up, we have a movie that's extremely underrated in my opinion, and that is Hard Target 2. This movie has a decent story in it, and I freaking love the action. The action in this movie was just balls up the wall, action-packed from beginning to end. Some great fight scenes, and some great explosions, gunfights, you name it, is in this damn movie. This movie is what I come to love about Scott Adkins movies. This movie is so freaking badass. Like, this movie is super badass. So, I enjoy this movie a lot. I can't understand the hate, because I would never understand the hate this movie gets. Next up is El Gringo. Now, this is probably the weakest, in my opinion, the weakest Scott Adkins movie. But this movie does have some decent fight scenes, but to me, it's probably his weakest. Probably where he's kind of first started making movies around this time anyway. So, because throughout the years, he started becoming better and better and better. So, this movie is decent, but it's probably the weakest that he's done. So, yeah, El Gringo. Next up, we have Ninja 1 and 2. Fantastic martial art films. I love these movies a lot. Ninja 2 was better than the first one, but I still enjoyed the first one. But it's like the sequel's better, a little bit better than the first one. This movie, these movies, freaking awesome. Love these movies a lot. So yeah. Next up, we have Avengement. Now, this movie is also different what Scott Adkins have done. I enjoy this movie quite a bit. This movie has some great fight scenes and everything. Like this movie has a different story than what Scott Adkins does. A lot different story. Like, the story in this movie is a lot different. But you still got the fight scenes that you come to love about Scott Adkins. So, this movie is freaking awesome. The fight scenes are intense as always in his movies. Intense. And it's very, very, very badass. So, yeah. Avengement. Now, I guess that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below, like, how much of a fan are y'all with Scott Adkins? I know I'm a fan of his movies. Like, he's probably in my top 5 favorite action stars of all time. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. How much do y'all love Scott Adkins movies? I like to hear y'all's thoughts on Scott Adkins movies. So yeah, that's it for this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe and share, and also hit the bell so you know when the videos uploaded. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.